Well, good morning, everybody. Happy Saturday. It is nice to see all your beautiful names and some of your faces. We're going to start seated in Sukhasana, so seated in a comfortable pose, whatever that means for you. So easy pose could be seated like so, cross-legged. You also might be more comfortable in a chair. We're going to be sitting for the next few minutes. So if it is more wonderful for your body to be seated in a chair, go for that. Just make sure that your feet are grounded on the mat, okay? And then we're gonna just stay in this pose for a few minutes. So as you ground down, feel your sit bones evenly ground down into the mat or into your chair. And then raise up through your spine, feel the length come through your spine, and then gently draw your chin back in to lengthen through the back of your neck. Maybe close your eyes here. Maybe bring your hands to your knees or into your lap. And then just take a moment to settle in, to arrive here on your mat in this space on this beautiful Saturday. Just tap in, just notice your body in this space. Notice the gentle rise and fall of your breath, your belly, and your chest. And if you have not muted yourself already, can you please mute yourself? I don't seem to be able to mute anyone this morning. So if you can do that, so we only hear me, that would be awesome, thank you. And come back to grounding in, to noticing yourself. Breathe in. Breathe out. Hold on 1 second, friends. All right, I think I got it. Beautiful. So sitting here, friends, breathing in, breathing out. On your next breath, take a nice big inhale here. Let the breath travel all the way down into your belly. Expand through your lungs. And exhale, nice big open mouth exhale. And once again, nice deep inhale here. Let the air travel all the way down, expand into your belly, your chest, your lungs. And a big open mouth exhale. And now, friends, I invite you to start to utilize your yogic breath, your Ujjayi breath. So seal your lips together and begin to breathe evenly in and out through your nose. And as you let the air travel in and out at that even cadence, allow for a little constriction in the back of your throat. So as the air travels through, it's almost like you're fogging up a mirror. It makes kind of a sensation as you both inhale and as you exhale. And breathe here, tap into that yogic breath, noting that that will build some heat, some focus, and you're welcome to use it throughout our time together or release it anytime it stops serving you. And then if you have your eyes closed, my friends, gently open your eyes, flutter them open. And bring your hands to your knees. We're gonna do some Sufi grind, so just some big circles starting from the base of your body. So as you inhale, travel forward, bending around. As you come around to the side, start to curve a C out with your belly, send your spine backwards, and use your hands to help give you that leverage to really go deep into it. And you can take these nice and slow. Nice and smooth. Just awakening into your hips. We're gonna focus our attentions on the concept of grounding today. So I invite you as we move into our different poses, our different asanas, to just notice which parts of your body are attached to the mat, are grounding down. And then from there, notice which parts of your body are now free because you've grounded to lift up and rise up. So right now, we are seated in the Sukhasana, an easy pose. So our sit bones are grounded, our feet are grounded. And then that gives us the freedom to go and spin around in these deep circles with our torso. So just notice, give yourself that opportunity to tap in and just become acquainted with the parts of grounding. Feel the sensation of rooting to rise. And then start to slow your twist around. We're gonna go into the other direction. So whatever direction you were moving in your circle, switch it up. Make it just as big and dramatic as the other side. So carve that C out with your belly as you come around the back and use your hands to guide you, to give you a little bit of extra room to groove. And you can take it at any pace that feels good to you. I'm going kind of slow today, just to slowly awaken. We're tapping into our pelvis area, our lower spine, and we're also tapping into our root chakra and our sacral chakra. So those are the two lower ones. Chakras are just energy centers within our body, and we're gonna slowly awaken from the lower ones all the way up through the top as we flow. Just a few more circles here. Allow your spine to awaken, your belly, your arms. And slowly come to stillness here, my friends. Find a neutral spine, a centered position. Once again, feel the grounding down of your sit bones as you lengthen through your spine. And then as you inhale, bring your arms up, so stretch. Feel that rise up through your arms, through your torso. And then as you exhale, bring your hands to your shoulders with your fingers pointing forward, your thumbs behind. Point your elbows out parallel to your shoulders. And then bring in a twist with a sniff. So as you inhale, twist left. As you exhale, twist right. Inhale, left. Exhale, right. And then as you find that twist, you can speed it up. So it's a twist along your navel center and let your spine spin around. Let your torso spin around on your spine. Can you keep your elbows parallel as you twist? Can you continue to ground down through your sit bones so you have that freedom to twist a little deeper? And keep sniffing. You're activating your glandular system, just helping awaken into your internal organs, getting things moving and grooving. And then slow down back to center. Inhale, both arms up. Stretch one more time. Exhale, a little twist to the right. So drop your left hand onto your right knee. Your right hand will come somewhere that it feels good. So maybe that's next to your body, or perhaps it's behind your body. And then use your hands and your sit bones now to all root down, to lift your spine higher on your inhale, and exhale, twist you a little deeper. Take one more big inhale here. And then as you exhale, gently twist back to the center line. I'm gonna mute this other person. If you're coming in a little late, can you try to mute yourselves, please, so we don't hear anything extra in the background? Inhale, arms up. And then as you exhale, gently twist over to your left. Right hand onto your left knee. Left hand wherever it feels most supportive. So maybe that's alongside you, perhaps that's behind you. And then once again, ground down into your sit bones. Rise up through your spine. Use your hands to help twist you deeper and to press down to lift you higher through your torso. Take one more inhale here. And then as you exhale, friends, gently come back to center once again. Inhale. As you exhale, drop your chin towards your chest, a few little neck rolls here, and start to draw your right ear towards your right shoulder, a slight little gentle roll over to the right, and then bring it all the way back around the back, lifting up as you come around the back, and then left ear to left shoulder, and drop your chin down. So just a gentle neck roll. And as you come around the back side, draw your chin up towards the ceiling. So it's like your face is lifting upwards, and that's gonna protect the back of your neck. As you come round. And then gently slow your roll as your chin drops down the center to your chest, and then send it back, your neck back the other way. So draw your left ear to your left shoulder, come round back, lift your chin up as you come around the back side of your neck. And then roll around to the front. Just a gentle twisting of the entire spine before we move on. Notice that one side might feel a little different than the other side, and that's okay. And come back to center here. Drop your chin to your chest. And as you inhale, lift your chin up, upright. And we'll come into cat-cow here. So tabletop. Come up onto your hands and knees from here, my friends. Spread your fingers out nice and wide like a bright shining star. Align your wrists under your shoulders, your knees under your hips, feet about hips width. And then inhale, drop your belly down, cow pose. Lift your hips high, squeeze your shoulder blades together, and send your chin forward as you kind of look up. Take one more inhale here. Stretch through your front body. Exhale, cat pose. Tuck your chin, tuck your pelvis, and root your hands now down into the mat to spread your shoulder blades wide apart. So rooting through your knees, your feet, your hands here. That's our grounding. And then take a few more of these on your own. Find a little rhythm, a breath to movement, a vinyasa. Inhale, cow, exhale, cat. A little flow. Find your own beautiful timing for this. Feel your breath rhythmically moving. Coming into your ujjayi breath, your yogic breath here. So breathe in and out through your nose as you undulate your spine back and forth. We'll just do this for 4 and 3. Come back to that tabletop in 2 and 1. Neutral spine here. Bring your big toes to touch one another. Send your knees out just a little bit wider. Inhale here, draw your abs in. Exhale, child's pose. So shift your hips back over your heels. And then start to drop your belly down towards the mat. Maybe it makes it there. Maybe you're still a little bit lifted here. And then you can walk your hands forward to stretch your spine even more. Let your forehead come resting down on the mat. And just take a moment to root down and feel this pose. This is a very grounding pose in general because feel in, notice. Your hands are contacting, your whole shin is contacting, and you're pressing downwards, you're reaching, stretching downwards. So overall, it's a very grounding pose, and you're welcome to come back to this child's pose anytime during our time together or make any other adjustments to serve your body. So take care of you first and foremost. And then on your next inhale, my friends, rise on up, tabletop. Once again, separate your feet so that they're at that hips width. Check down at your hands. Spread your fingers out nice and wide. Make sure your index fingers aligned parallel to the long edges of your mat, or maybe even your fingers turn slightly outward. And then tuck your toes underneath. Draw your abs up and in towards your spine. Inhale here. Exhale, downward facing dog. Lift your hips. And pause here in this first down dog, perhaps of your entire day, first down dog, definitely first of class. Give yourself a moment to ease on into it. So bend one knee as you straighten the other. Feel that stretch through your hamstrings. Ground evenly into the entire palm of your hands. And then rotate your armpits toward one another to broaden your shoulder blades. Send your belly button towards your thighs. And then from here, friends, find that stillness in the down dog. You could have your knees really, really bent here. Focus more on rooting down, grounding into your hands now, so you can rise up and lengthen through your spine. Coming into stillness. As you take your next inhale, rise up onto the balls of your feet, bend your knees a lot, gaze forward now between your thumbs. Exhale, ragdoll pose. Take a couple giant steps, make it to the top of your space. Again, keeping your knees really bent here. You can even rest your torso on your thighs. And then grab onto opposite elbows and rock side to side. Shake your head yes and no. Bend and straighten your knees. You can play around with anything that feels good, just letting gravity give you a little decompression of your spine here. And then gently come back to the center, come back to stillness, still folding forward. Release your hands down. Ground now, root and ground into your feet. Tuck your tailbone and start to rise on up to standing. Nice and slow. One backbone at a time. Your head will be the last thing to come up. Roll your shoulders back and down. And staying at the top of your mat, I'm just gonna turn so you can see me. Option here, friends, as we flow through our Sun A, standing at our attention to keep your feet about hips width. That's gonna give you a little more grounding and stability in your stance. Option B, toes together, sliver of space between your heels. And then wherever you have chosen to land your feet, hips width or together, ground evenly down. Lift your toes up, just the toes, and feel what's happened to your feet. Feel that grounding down through the ball of your foot as well as the heel of your foot. So maintaining that sensation, allow your toes to come back down to the mat. Bring your hands down by your sides. Beautiful. And from here, friends, we will flow through our sun A. So inhale, rise up, mountain pose. So root down with your feet, rise up through your legs, through your torso. Pause here, breathe easy. Drop your tailbone down to lift your hips up. Bring your abs in towards your spine. Wrap your armpits forward towards one another. Inhale here. Exhale, side stretch. Grab onto your left wrist and bend to the right side. Or perhaps your right arm turns so you can see, or perhaps your right arm comes down. Wherever you've landed with your right arm, ground into your feet once again. So you're lifting and lengthening through both sides of your torso. Inhale, come back up to that mountain pose. Down the center line. Grab onto your right wrist. Inhale. Exhale, side bend over to the left. So once again, you could grab onto your right wrist, or if it feels more supportive for you today, bring your left arm down. Either way, rotate your right shoulder slightly back so you square your shoulders off. Really get a stretch through your right rib cage. Inhale, rise back up to your mountain pose. Exhale, micro back bend. So cactus your elbows out to the side. Squeeze your shoulder blades in the back to lift your heart, and then draw your chin up towards the ceiling as you drop your tailbone down. Continue grounding into your feet. They are strong and steady throughout this whole section. Inhale, rise back up to your mountain pose. Lift your arms up high. Beautiful. Exhale, forward fold. Bend your knees as much as you need to. As you travel down, let your heart come first. Then straighten your legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Flat back, hands to your shins, or maybe even your thighs here, because you're working toward a parallel spine to the mat. Roll your shoulder blades back and down towards your tailbone, and then draw length through your spine by drawing your crown of your head forward, still grounding into your feet. Inhale. Exhale, high plank. Plant your palms and then step back. And you might come down to your knees here for this, or be up on your toes. Whatever you've selected, roll your inner thighs up. Draw your abs in towards your spine. And ground into your hands. Your hands are helping provide that lift by pressing down. Take an inhale, come forward 1 inch. Exhale, lower all the way down to your belly. Maybe you come to your knees first, and then bend your elbows backwards. Keep them next to your body as you come all the way down to the mat. So from here, lying down on your belly, walk your hands back so they're in line with your lower ribs, and then point your elbows up towards the sky by squeezing your shoulder blades together. Coming into a low cobra here. Zipper up your thighs. Inhale, cobra, roll your shoulders back towards your tailbone. Draw your abs really tightly up and towards your spine. Press your pelvis into the mat. Send your tailbone isometrically towards your heels. And then maybe you hover your hands. Feel that squeeze along your upper back. Draw your shoulder blades together. Inhale, exhale, lower back down. We're gonna do 2 more of those to warm up your back. Warm up those strong core muscles along the backside. Inhale, rise up, low cobra. Draw your abs in, press your tailbone down to the mat. Zipper up your thighs. Exhale, lower down. 1 more time. Inhale, rise up. Maybe come up a little higher this time. Perhaps you lift your feet up. Zipper those thighs up, draw your abs up and in. Squeeze your shoulder blades together, bring the crown of your head forward to lengthen through your neck. Inhale 1 more time. Exhale, lower down. Beautiful job. Inhale, upward facing dog now. So press your hands down into the mat and use your pressing, the grounding of your hands to lift your torso up. Then ground your tops of your feet into the earth to lift your thighs. Take 1 more inhale here. Exhale, downward facing dog. Tuck your toes, draw your abs in and lift your hips up. And pause here, reset, recenter. Tap into you, notice in. Are you still utilizing your yogic breath, your ujjayi? Still building that heat. That contraction in the back of your throat as you breathe. You're gonna flow through that breath to movement. So on your next inhale, come to the balls of your feet, bend your knees a lot and gaze forward between your thumbs. Exhale, forward fold, step or hop, travel up to the top of your space. Inhale, halfway lift. Flat back, draw your head forward, root down with your feet. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up, mountain pose. Lift your fingertips up high, ground down with your feet, draw your abs in. Grab onto your left wrist, exhale, side bend to the right. Inhale, mountain pose, back to center, stretch upward. Exhale, side bend to the left, grab onto your right wrist. Inhale, mountain pose, stretch up. Exhale, micro back bend, cactus your arms out, squeeze your shoulder blades together, lift your heart, drop your tailbone. Inhale, mountain pose, stretch up. Exhale, forward fold. Bend your knees as much as you need to travel down, protect your lower back. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, listen up here. We're gonna do high plank to low plank. So plant your palms, step back, come forward an inch in that plank. Maybe you're on your knees, maybe you're on your toes, and then elbows bend backwards, pinned into your sides as you inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Beautiful. Breathe in here. And this time, open mouth, exhale, sigh it out. Maybe you stick your tongue out and go, ah, make a little noise, let a little heat out. Let a little tension from the week out. Make a little space. And then come back to that yogic breath, your ujjayi. Feel the grounding down now of your hands and your feet to lift your hips and your higher and lengthen your spine. And from here, friends, draw your abs in towards your spine. Inhale, 3-leg dog. Lift your right leg high. Point your right toes down. Engage your right quad and roll your inner thigh towards the ceiling to square off your hips. Inhale here one more time. Exhale, low lunge. Draw your abs in, come forward in that plank so you make that space for your right knee to come through, and then step it all the way through. Drop your back knee down from here. Untuck your back toes. And inhale, rise up, low crescent. So we'll pause here. Find the grounding down, the rooting here. So here, the grounding happens in the heel of your front foot, the knee and the shin of your back leg, and then hug your outer hips in. So it's like you're drawing your thighs towards each other. Now you've created a stable foundation so that you can rise up through your torso, and then your arms come up, palms face toward one another. Beautiful. Come back to your breath here. And feel into this pose. Drop your tailbone down to lift your heart higher. Knit your abs in towards your spine. Inhale here. Exhale, come back to that low lunge. Plant your palms to frame your front foot. Tuck your back toes under and lift your back knee up. And now plant your back foot and fan it out about 45 degrees. Inhale, warrior two, windmill open. So new pose, now we've come up. New location to ground down. So feel and notice where you're grounding in here. Send a little more effort and weight into the heel of your front foot, the outer knife edge of your back foot. And take a peek down at your toes. So if your back toe's off and the back toes go out to the side, and that makes it really hard on the knees. So perhaps you play around with bringing those back toes a little more forward towards the front of your body, and that's gonna give a little more ease into your hip area. Then find your grounding. Ignite your thighs, so everything's active from the waist down. Draw your abs in, and then your arms come out to the sides. Gaze over your right fingertips. Inhale as you sink 1 inch lower. Nice strong foundation in your warrior two. Exhale, extended side angle. So reach forward. So as though something you really desire is right there and you're about to grab it. When you can go forward no more, drop your right arm down, your left arm up, and then twist outward with your heart. So twisting from your belly button, your navel center. Same legs as before. So feel a grounding through the front foot and the back foot. Hug your outer hips in, and then squeeze your shoulder blades towards each other in the back to open your heart and twist a little deeper. Beautiful. Option to keep this top arm straight up, or maybe you take a half bind. For that, send your thumb towards the back of your space, bend your elbow, slide the back of your hand down your back, and it'll just travel to where it feels comfortable today. Maybe it makes it all the way to wrap around to your front thigh, but maybe it's not even close and it's just hanging out here. So wherever it feels good to you is where you should land. Come back to your breath here. Feel and notice the rooting down as we stay in this pose, perhaps longer than you anticipated or wanted. Can you ground down to find calm as we hold in these poses? And we move on from here, friends. Bring your abs in, root into your feet. Inhale, star pose. So spread out, stretch and open up, toes out, heels in. Drop your tailbone down, knit your abs in, lift your heart. Spread your fingers out nice and wide. Take one more inhale for me here. Exhale, horse pose. So just bend your knees, sink your hips down, and bring your arms down. Shift a little more weight into each heel, and then wrap your outer hips in to draw your knees a little bit further away from each other. And then bring your hands to your thighs here. We'll add a little twist. So use your hands to press into your thighs to lengthen through your spine. So send your butt back and your head forward. And then as you exhale, twist to your right from your belly button. So you can bend into your elbows, use your left hand pressing into your inner left thigh to keep that twist going. Grounding into your heels. Inhale, come back to center. Let's twist to the other side. Exhale, twist to your left. Once again, twisting along your spinal column, along your belly button. Press your right hand into your right thigh to enhance your twist. Inhale back to center. One more time each side. Exhale, twist to the right. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist to the left. Inhale, center. Beautiful job. As you exhale, drop your butt down as you lift your head up. Inhale, star. Gorgeous. Okay, friends, listen up. Exhale, warrior two to the back of your space. So spin your right foot forward that 45 degrees and then bend into your left knee now. So we're kind of spinning around, traveling around our mat this morning or today. And then once again, ground into the heel of your front foot, outer knife edge of your back foot. Feel that wrapping of your outer hips to help lift your heart. And then arms come out. Kiss your shoulder blades in the back to open through your chest. And then gaze over your left fingertips and feel into this warrior two on this side. Give yourself a moment to feel the rooting, the places of rooting through your feet. Feel the lifting up, lengthening through your torso. Inhale, sink 1 inch lower. Beautiful. Exhale here. Inhale, reverse warrior. So same legs, just lift your front arm up. Back arm down, or back arm could also do a little half bind. The back of your hand finds your back and wraps as far as it wants to go today. Recommit to that bend in your front knee as you lift up more with your left hand to stretch through your ribs. Beautiful, inhale. Exhale, low lunge. So windmill your hands, spin everything towards the back of your space. Point your toes and your hands and your nose forward. And then vinyasa here, step back to your high plank. Come forward 1 inch. Exhale, lower halfway down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Draw your heart forward, hands back. Exhale, downward facing dog. Lift your hips. And take a few breaths here just to reset, recenter. And then we're gonna head back the way we came, starting with our left leg. So inhale your left leg high. Pause here, point your left toes down. Rotate your pinky toe of your left foot down even more to square off your hips. Feel your thighs lift off your kneecaps as you engage them. Draw your abs in toward your spine, inhale. Exhale, lower, low lunge. Step your left leg through, nice and slow. And then drop your back knee down. Untuck your back toes. Inhale, low crescent moon, rise up. And once again, find your foundation, find your base. So isometrically draw your thighs toward one another. Drop your tailbone down to lift your hip points up. Knit your abs in, so feel that rise up through your torso, then bring your arms up, yes. Rotate your pinky fingers forward so your palms face one another. Shine your heart, your hips forward. Inhale. And then as you exhale, low lunge. Frame your front foot, tuck your back toes, lift your back knee. Stamp the back foot down and fan it out to find that heel to arch alignment, out 45 degrees, and then inhale, windmill open, warrior two. And so we've been here, this is our second time on this side. So as you ground into your front thigh, feel that front thigh rotate open. That's gonna give you some openness through your hips. Gaze over your left fingertips. Beautiful, take an inhale here, sink 1 inch lower. Exhale, extended side angle. So once again, reach forward, hinge from your hips. Draw forward to lengthen through both sides of your torso. Then left arm down, right arm high. Shine your heart out. Are you grounding into your back leg, or has it become weightless? Feel a little more rooting into the outer knife edge of that back foot. And then maybe you take that half bind with your top arm, if you did it on the other side. So spin your thumb back first, bend your elbow, and then slide it, only if it feels good. Your shoulders are like, I don't like this, don't do it. You could keep your arm high. You could rest your arm on your upper hip. We move on from here, my friends, so ground into both your feet evenly. Feel your thighs engaged, draw your abs in. Inhale, rise up, star. Point your toes out, heels in. Spread your fingers out nice and wide and stretch, exploding outward through all your limbs. Inhale. Exhale, horse pose, sink on down one more time. This time, bring your hands to heart center. And we're gonna add a little plie, if you will. So ground down with your heels. Inhale, rise up, star. Exhale, horse, come on down, plie. Sink your hips low. Inhale, rise up, star. Exhale, horse, ground into your heels so you feel that rooting down. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, sink low, pause here, hands to heart center. Feel your thighs engaged. As you ground into your heels, feel your hamstrings light up, and then squeeze your glutes. Drop your tailbone down to lift your heart. Beautiful. Inhale, star. Rise up. Spin your back toes forward. So left toes are coming inward, 45 degrees. Inhale here. Exhale, warrior two. Sink on down into this side. Back to your right knee. So we won't stay here as long. We've been here a couple times. Ground into the heel of your front foot, outer knife edge of your back foot. Inhale here and exhale. Inhale, reverse warrior. Lift your front arm up, back arm on your back thigh, or maybe you find that half bind once again, back of your hand. Grounds in, finds the back of your back somewhere. Maybe it wraps all the way around. Take one more inhale. And then exhale, high to low plank. So plant your palms, find your low lunge first, and then step your right leg back. And on your toes or maybe on your knees for these, come slightly forward to make that space, lower halfway down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Lift your hips up. And pause here for a breath or two. We're gonna take that in a flow. A little breath to movement. One asana, one pose per breath. Starting in your downward facing dog. So ground yourself here. Grounding is not just physical, but is also intention. So feel the rooting down so you can rise. Feel yourself centered and grounded, knowing that you can get this flow. You got this. Ground into your hands and your left foot. Inhale, three-legged dog. On the right, kick your right leg high. Exhale, low lunge. Step your right leg through and drop your back knee on down to the mat. Untuck your toes. Inhale, low crescent moon. Rise up, tuck your tailbone down. Lift your fingertips up high. Exhale, low lunge. Plant your palms and lift your back knee up once again. Stamp that back foot out 45 degrees. Inhale, warrior two. Open up. Exhale, extended side angle. Reach forward. Then tick-tock your arms down to 6, up to 12, heart out. Up to star we come, my friends. Inhale, rise up, star. Toes out, heels in. Exhale, horse pose. Sink your hips down low. Hands to heart center. Back up to star. Inhale, rise up. We head to the back of our mat now. Spin your back foot forward. Exhale, warrior two. Bend into your left knee this time. Beautiful. Inhale, reverse warrior. Lift your front arm high. Keep that bend in your front knee. Exhale, vinyasa, high plank to low plank. Plant your palms, spin everything towards the back of your mat. Step your left leg back on your toes or on your knees, come an inch forward. Bend your elbows backwards as you lower halfway down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Beautiful. We're gonna head back in the opposite direction. Inhale, left leg high, three-leg dog. Exhale, low lunge. Step your left leg through. Drop your right knee, your back knee down. Inhale, low crescent moon. Rise up. Stretch through your torso, squeeze your thighs together. Exhale, low lunge. Lift your back knee, fan your back foot out. Inhale, warrior two, windmill open. Exhale, extended side angle, hinge from your hips, draw forward. Then shine your heart out as you tick-tock your arms down. Inhale, star pose, toes out, heels in. Exhale, horse, sink it low, down the center. Inhale, star. We head back towards the front, spin your back toes or left toes forward. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, vinyasa, high plank to low plank. Or maybe it serves you best to go straight to downward facing dog. That feels most supportive and good to get you mentally and physically grounded. Then do it. We'll meet in downward facing dog. And from your downward facing dog, take a nice big breath, a nice big inhale. And an open mouth exhale, sigh it out. Gorgeous job. We're gonna go through that one more time. We're gonna add a little bit more stretch at the end of each side. So from your down dog, inhale, right leg high. Exhale, low lunge. Step your right leg through, drop your back knee down. Inhale, low crescent moon. Exhale, low lunge. Plant your palms, fan your back foot out. Inhale, warrior two, windmill open. Exhale, extended side angle. Inhale, star pose. Toes out, heels in, stretch. Exhale, horse. Inhale, star. To the back we go. Exhale, warrior two. Change coming here, my friends. Inhale, reverse triangle. So same thing, front arm lifts high, but now you're straightening through your front leg. Keep a little bend in that knee so you don't hyperextend, and shift a little more weight. Now you're grounding a little more into the ball of your front foot instead of the heel. Inhale here, stretch through your left ribs. Exhale, triangle pose. So first, parallel your arms. This is just like extended side angle, but now we straighten the front leg. So once again, hinge from your hips and reach forward. Continue to shift more weight into the ball of your front foot, and then drop your left arm down, right arm up, and shine your heart out. And then your lower hand, your left hand's gonna find whatever is most supportive for you to stay in this pose. So maybe that's your shin, maybe that's your thigh, and you have a little bend in your knee. Maybe you find a chair, something stable, and you can step into your triangle with a little rest, a little support from the back here, okay? Or if you have a block, or again, something stable that you can bring into play to place your bottom hand on, that's a great option too. But if you have no props and there's no sofa nearby, find a part of your leg that you feel steady in. And now as we pause in this pose, where are you grounding? Feel into your body and just notice the portions of your foot that are rooting down. And from there, as you've realized your effort in the rooting, feel that lifting up through your legs. Feel the strength of your legs, isometrically, thighs drawing toward one another. And feel the lift and the rise through your torso. Option to stay right here, friends, or option for a little balance challenge if you want to come into half moon. Gaze down at your front toes, bend into your front knee, and then shift your weight forward. So if your hand is on a block, maybe it tents onto the earth, and then lift your right toes, your back toes up. So find your grounding, find your rooting. Evenly stamp into your left foot. Wrap your outer left hip in. Draw your abs in towards your spine. And then when you found that footing, squeeze your right glute to rotate your right toes out. So they're heading outward, and shine your heart out by lifting your right hand up higher. And once again, your hand might be on a block. It might be on a chair to give you that leverage, that balance. You can ground with your hand as well as your foot. Take one more inhale here. And then as you exhale, gently step back to triangle, so let your right foot come back down to the mat. Inhale, rise up, star. Exhale, horse pose. And we'll head back the other direction. So inhale, star. Exhale, warrior two to the back. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, vinyasa. So high plank to low plank. Plant your palms. And maybe you step straight to downward facing dog. Or you come forward. You lower halfway down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. These vinyasas are just opportunities for transition. So if they do not serve you, you can modify them or you can skip them. And we land back here in this active resting pose, our down dog. And we're gonna head back the other direction. So inhale your left leg high, 3-leg dog. Exhale, low lunge, step your left leg through, drop your right leg down. Inhale to find your low crescent moon. Tuck your tailbone to lift your heart, draw your abs, and stretch your fingers up high. Exhale, low lunge. Frame your front foot, lift your back knee, fan your back foot out, 45. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, extended side angle, reach, stretch, and open. Inhale, star. Toes out, heels in. Exhale, horse. Inhale, star, stretch up. Exhale, warrior two to the back. So fan your left toes forward, bend into your right knee. Inhale, reverse triangle. So lift your right hand up high, start to straighten through your right leg, now the front leg. And then as you exhale, triangle, parallel your arms first, hinge from your right hip. Feel the length coming through both sides of your torso before you bring your right arm down. Then right arm down, left arm up, and twist from your belly button to shine your heart out. Keep a little bend in your right knee. Send a little more effort and grounding into the ball of your front foot, the outer knife edge of your back foot. Rotate your front thigh outward to help open through your hips. And once again, your right hand is looking for whatever is gonna give it the most stability and support. So that might be the ground, it might be your shin, it might be your thigh, it might be a chair. Find that place of support for you. And then as you ground down, can you twist out more? Allow those exhales to ring out your belly button along your spine. Option to stay right here, friends. Enjoy the stretch or come into half moon, the balance on the other side. For half moon, gaze down at your front toes, bend into your front knee, and start to shift your weight forward onto your right foot. So wrap your outer right hip in, root into your right foot, and then kick your left leg up high. And so once you find, I have no prop here, so I'm just gonna hit my fingers on the earth, and that's fine. So I'm grounding down through my fingertips here, and really relying on my right leg, a lot of strength. And then squeeze the outer left glute, the lifted foot, to rotate the toes outward. And then once again, twist from your belly button, lift your left fingertips high. Feel into where you're grounding. Lift your right quad, your rooted quad off your kneecap to lift you up higher. Knit your abs in, take another inhale here. Exhale, triangle pose. Step your left leg back. Beautiful. Inhale, star. Rise on up. Exhale, horse. Beautiful. Inhale, star. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, vinyasa, high plank to low plank. We'll meet in downward facing dog. So spin everything forward, step your right leg back. Either come through your vinyasa or straight to down dog. Take a nice big inhale here and a nice big exhale. From here, friends, inhale, come forward to your plank pose. Once again, on toes or knees, draw your abs up in towards your spine, send your tailbone towards your heels. As you inhale, come 1 inch forward. As you exhale, lower all the way down to your belly. Once again, you can drop your knees down to help guide you easily. And then untuck your toes. So you'll remember, friends, when we did our Sun A, we did those cobras and lay down on our belly. So we're gonna enhance that. You can continue with the cobra if that feels most supportive to your body. So again, cobra pose, hands next to your ribs, point your elbows high, and then you're gonna engage your abs and roll your shoulders back. So this is option 1, you can do a cobra pose. Option 2, locust pose, very similar to cobra. Your hands will come down. Option to bring your hands facing towards each other alongside your hips. So that's option B. And then when you lift, you're gonna roll your shoulders back and lift your feet up, zipper up your thighs. Option C, locust pose with your hands interlaced, resting on your tailbone. And then when you lift up, you'll roll your shoulders back, lift your hands up off your bum, and then lift your feet. So those are your 3 options, or anything else that feels best to you. So pick the one you would like, and then draw your abs in towards your spine. Press your pelvis into the mat. Squeeze and zipper up your thighs, and then inhale, rise up. Roll your shoulders back and down, draw them away from your ears. Pull the crown of your head forward. Roll your inner thighs up towards the ceiling. Can you squeeze your feet towards each other, even if they don't touch? Drop your tailbone down towards your heels. Inhale here. Exhale, lower all the way down. Rest one cheek on the mat. Bend your knees. Windshield wiper your feet. And the more exaggerated you make this windshield wiper, the closer you bring your feet to the mat, the more your lower back will be engaged. So you decide if it feels good to go a little deeper, or if you want to keep it a little bit more gentle and not go so deep. We're gonna do that one more time, friends. Option to do cobra, option to do locust with either hand arrangement, or option to come into Dhanurasana bow pose. So I will demonstrate that, and you can find whichever variation you decide works best for you today. So Dhanurasana, bend your knees, and then each hand is gonna find the outside of each foot, or maybe today that's your ankle, but you're aiming towards outside of the foot. And then if you're like me and your feet splay out to the side like this, use your hands to pull your feet back in line. So feet, knees, and hips are all about the same width here. And then same thing for all poses, cobra, locust, Dhanurasana. Draw your abs in towards your spine. Press your pelvis into the mat. Zipper your thighs toward one another. Inhale, rise up. Roll your shoulders back. Press your pelvis down. Draw your knees together. Send your tailbone down towards the back of your space. Kick, if you're in Dhanurasana, kick into your hands as you pull your feet towards your bum. And you'll feel a lift. So now the grounding is happening at your belly. And the lift is happening through your legs, your shoulders, your heart, your head. Inhale here. Exhale, lower down. Let the other cheek come resting on the mat one more time. Windshield wiper your feet. If that feels good. You can have your hands down by your sides. You can bring your hands by your lower ribs and point your elbows up. Just a little release for your lower spine. And then come back to stillness here, my friends. Bring your hands by your ribs. If they're not there already, point your elbows high. Press into your hands. Draw your abs in. Rise up. Find tabletop. And then from here, coming into embryo pose. So knees and ankles are close to each other. And then it's just child's pose, but knees together. So let your torso come resting down on your thighs. And then you can choose to have your hands, instead of in front of you, they could be in front of you, or maybe they come back down and rest by your feet. So you just kind of make a little ball with your body. Little rock pose. And then take a nice big inhale here. And feel the air travel to expand your back ribs as you grow heavier and rounder with air. And then exhale, open mouth, exhale, sigh it out. Take one more inhale just like that. And a nice big open mouth exhale, sigh it out. Beautiful. And then if your hands are by your feet, bring them underneath your shoulders here. And press yourself up to a seat. And then come back around onto your bum. So now, friends, we're gonna ground down with our sit bones, just as we did at the beginning of class, but stick your legs out long in front of you. So in order to ground properly and evenly through both sit bones, you might wanna move some flesh aside if that's necessary, and feel that, wiggle into it. Feel that nice rooting down, grounding. And with your legs, flex your feet here. And depending on how open your hamstrings are feeling this morning, you might want to keep your knees a little bit bent. We're going to do a forward fold. So this should feel stretchy and good, not ouch. So bent knees is a great alternative. Another option, if your hamstrings are feeling a little tight, is to sit your butt up on the edge of a little cushion or a blanket, just to give you a little lift. It's basically tilting your pelvis forward. It's like giving you a head start. So you could have straight legs with a seated up on a cushion, bent legs seated up on a cushion. Flex your feet no matter where you are. Find the spot that suits you. Ground down into your sit bones. Inhale, stretch up with your arms, mountain pose arms. Rotate your pinky fingers forward. As you stretch your fingers up, drop your shoulders down away from your ears. Knit your abs in as you ground down through your sit bones. Feel your torso lengthen on both sides. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. So hinge from your hips and come forward. Imagine that I'm pulling your hands forward, so you're stretching up as much as you're folding over. And then at some point, your hands will just come down and they'll find something, whatever that is for you today. It might be your thighs. This might be your forward fold today. And that's an amazing forward fold. Maybe you ease into walking your feet out a little bit, getting a little more stretch through your hamstrings. Or perhaps it looks like a little more like this, and your hands are on your big toes or the outsides of your feet. And then give yourself permission here to release your neck, to round your spine. Again, you're searching for that juicy edge where you're getting a nice, delicious stretch, but not ouch. If you're feeling ouch, your body is asking you to just back it up a bit. So find that magic spot for you. And then can you release your head down, let your neck soften through the back, round through your spine. And utilize your breath here. Take big inhales to expand through your back body, to send fresh oxygen-rich blood to those tight spots, those nooks and crannies. And then use your exhale to surrender down a little deeper, to release somewhere, maybe your jaw, your face, your shoulders. Feel the real grounding of your sit bones, but also your whole leg flush with the mat. And then gently, my friends, rise back up. Use your hands to walk themselves up your legs to help propel your torso back up. And if you're on a cushion or a blankie, move that aside. And then we're gonna come lying down onto our backs. So use your hands to shift your hips forward. And then in your own time, roll on down to your back. Find a nice comfortable spot here. Tuck your tailbone under so you have that neutral spine. If you have a big lift in your lower back, feel a little tuck so that you can ground evenly. Now we're grounding down through our spinal column. And then find figure 4 here. So cross your right ankle over your left knee. Send your right knee away from your face. And if you feel a nice opening through your right hip here with your left foot on the mat, stay right here. This is a great spot to be. If you want to go a little deeper into that stretch, lift up your left foot and grab onto the back of your left thigh. And then use your hands to guide both knees towards your face. Gently depress your tailbone back into the mat to deepen the stretch even more. Flex through your right foot, the foot that's crossed over, to protect your knee. And then maybe rock side to side here. You can go nice and slow in your rocking back and forth. You can pause anywhere that feels good. Now is a wonderful time, my friends, to release your yogic breath, release your ujjayi, and change your breathing now as we start to head towards the resting part of class, to longer and slower, deeper inhales and exhales. Just start to activate your parasympathetic nervous system, slow things down. Find a little more softening. And then come back to stillness here. Gently bring your left foot back down to the mat if it's not there already. And uncross your leg. We're gonna do the other side. Cross your left leg onto your right knee. Flex your left foot and send your knee away from your face. And again, maybe you stay here with your right leg on the ground, or you grab onto the back of your right leg and pull your knees towards your face. You can rock side to side if that suits your body today. And again, you can pause at any point in the side to side to just linger and really allow for a deepening of the stretch in that little pocket of space, that special spot in your hip that's asking for a little extra love. Continue to flex your left toes. And you can keep adjusting, pulling your knees closer to your face to deepen the stretch. And then come back to center here, back to stillness. Release your right leg down to the mat to make that space. Uncross your legs. Hug both knees into your chest. Now make a little ball with your body. And then keep your right leg hugged in. Your left foot will come back on the earth with your knee bent, or you can play around with stretching your left leg out. Press your left thigh down towards the mat. Even if it doesn't make it there, that action of acting intentionally to press, to ground that thigh down, is gonna open your hips a little bit more. And then draw your right knee towards your right armpit and rotate your right ankle. Take a nice inhale. Exhale, supine twist. Use your hand to guide your right knee over to the left. Stack your right hip over your left. And then take your right hand out behind you. Stretch it out. Maybe you gaze back behind you. Maybe you close your eyes. Ease on in to the concept of resting, of releasing, getting more grounded throughout this entire practice, and really grounding down into the mat for the final moments. Take another inhale. And then as you exhale, gently come back to center. Use your abs to protect your spine as you roll back. And then hug both knees into your chest once again to just neutralize everything along your back. And then keep your left leg, right foot on the mat, knee bent, or extend your right leg long and see how that feels. Press your right thigh down towards the earth. Draw your left leg, hugged in leg, towards your left armpit and rotate your ankle. A little love, a little squeeze. Perhaps you feel a little stretch across the front of your hips. Take one more inhale. And then as you exhale, twist. Draw your left knee all the way across your body over to the right. Stack your left hip over your right. Extend your arm out behind you once again. Then twist along your belly button, along your spine. to gaze back behind you. Or maybe you close your eyes. Start to soften your gaze behind you. Just notice, actively soften your shoulders, feel them melt towards the earth. Actively soften your knees, let them melt towards the earth. Take one more inhale. And then as you exhale, roll on back to center, nice and gentle. Find an even spine here and then draw both knees into your chest. Little hug, little squeeze. Flex your feet, happy baby. Send the soles of your feet towards the sky. Keep your knees bent. Use your hands to grab onto whatever's available. So perhaps that's the outside of your feet. Maybe that's your ankles, maybe your big toes. And then use your hands like a lever to pull your knees down towards your armpits. And as you pull your legs down, feel your spine flattening more towards the mat. And then you can rock side to side here again, a little free back massage. Option to bend and straighten your legs. Anything that feels good. Maybe what feels good today is stillness, and that's a beautiful choice as well. And then come back to center, come back to stillness if you are rocking. Gently release your feet. Hug your knees and your nose together. Hug everything. Make a little tight ball with your entire body. And take a moment of gratitude and love for yourself. Thank yourself for coming to yoga today, for giving yourself an entire hour dedicated just to you, because you, my friends, are so, so worth it. Take one more inhale. Squeeze everything in. Your nose, your ears, your eyes, your toes, your fingers, everything squeeze. Exhale, Shavasana, resting pose. Gently release down, find your final surrender. Let your feet splay out. Take any last little wiggles out of your body. Roll your shoulders down, shake your head side to side. Take a few moments to just integrate all of your work. Let your breath find itself. Allow your thoughts to drift on by like a cloud in the sky. Enjoy Shavasana. My friends, you are welcome to remain just as you are. You have a little time to stay in Shavasana and continue to rest. Take it. You're ready to move on into the next fun adventure of your Saturday. Begin to draw in a slightly deeper breath. Bring your awareness back to the present space. Feel your body rooted down, grounded down into the mat. And begin to invite in any little micro movements that feel supportive and good, like wiggling your fingers, your toes. Rotate your wrists and ankles around in a nice, gentle, slow circle. It's a little gradual re-emergence into your physical being. And then letting that go, stretch your arms above your head and stretch. Nice big full body good morning stretch into magical, amazing. There's nobody like you in the world, so let that light shine. Stretch in. And then gently letting that go, bring your arms back down. And in the most gentle way, find your way back up to a seated position. Maybe you pause for a breath or two, lying on your side. Feel the grounding, the support of your mat, the support of the earth below you. Option to keep your eyes closed as you come up and find a comfortable seat. Hands on your knees, hands in your lap, or perhaps hands to heart center. We come back to that idea of grounding. We physically grounded. I also offer you the opportunity to explore options for grounding outside that. Deepen your breath. In those moments of tense situations, give yourself an opportunity to just take a deep breath, to stop, to pause, perhaps to physically ground down through your sit bones, your feet. And just get a little bit more rooted into you for a moment and just see how that shifts moment entirely. That, my friends, the teacher in me honors, appreciates, and thanks the teacher in each of you. I hope you have a blessed and beautiful rest of your Saturday. Bring your hands to third eye center. Namaste. Satnam. Thank you all so very, very much.